We have 11 practices are down. Overall, it's been going pretty good. Just give you a quick update on injuries. I know you guys obsess over wanting to know what the injury situation is. I guess that's because it gives you guys something to write about. But Adam Pankey had knee surgery yesterday, successful knee surgery. He's obviously laid up and will be expected like an October return. How guys come back from knees, everybody's different. You don't know what it's going to be like. We don't know if we're going to be able to use them next year or that. We'll obviously figure that out in September. Dante Campbell's still out with the shoulder. He'll be released in July. Chestnut's out with the knee. He'll be released in July. Juwan Snow is out with the shoulder. He'll be released in May. Avery Williams is out there, but he's in a green jersey. He's not full go. He'll be released full go in May. Andrew Bowie had a hamstring. You saw him in red today, so he's got a hamstring. He's day-to-day. Pat Egger's ankle that we talked about is starting to come back from it. He's still day-to-day. So those are the guys that are out. I did release a depth chart. Mike, when are you going to put that out? Mike will put it out tonight. It's just understand that it's very tentative. That could change on a day-to-day basis. We really have not even, talked to guys about being starters, okay? But, whoever we lined up, first team offense, first team defense, that's what you'll see on the sheet, which again could change Saturday morning. It could change next Tuesday. It can change for the spring game. But that's kind of where we stand with that. We've got a coaches clinic this weekend, Friday night and Saturday morning. We'll have Coach Dunlap's done a great job of cultivating a lot of coaches. We're expecting around 300 coaches to be at this. They'll be coming in Friday. We'll speak Friday night, and then we got about 6 high school coaches that are all very, very successful high school coaches that will be speaking Saturday morning, and then they'll come to the practice on Saturday. Other than that, we got 4 practices left. Saturday will be, a heavy practice. We haven't had a full scrimmage, and we won't have one until Tuesday. We have mini scrimmages at the end of practice, which is what we've done this week. It's been good. Just starting to move the ball. We've been focusing way more on fundamentals and teaching, and trying to get good at technique football and gradually, obviously run a lot of team reps, but gradually start talking about moving the ball, getting off the field on third downs, that sort of thing. So we've been doing some mini scrimmages at the end of practice for the last couple of days. We'll do that again Saturday, and then Tuesday we'll kind of have probably our biggest scrimmage of the spring. Thursday's non-padded, can't do a whole lot Thursday, and then the spring game on Saturday. So getting closer. Been a lot of teaching, a lot of evaluating. This is, we obviously still got a long ways to go on all 3 sides of the ball. I'm not prepared to name any starters, not prepared to, in my mind, figure out what kind of team we're going to have yet. We're still trying to figure that out. But I do like the effort that these guys are playing with, the attention that these guys are playing with. They come in, they're eager to learn. Nobody thinks we're any good. So I encourage our guys not to read anything that they, get online and, message boards and publications and, even some of y'all's work. I encourage them not to really worry about that too much, because who knows what our team's going to be like. The only people that can dictate that as coaches and players, and we come in every day and we're ready to work and we get better every day. That's got to continue all the way up until the first game. So it's kind of where we're at. Take some questions.
Dana, why did you release a depth chart? Did somebody twist your arm and force you to?
Pretty much. It's that little guy in the back been pestering me and poking me and all that kind of stuff. So I figured I'd make it a little bit easier for our media relations department, which we have a tremendous relationship with media relations and want to keep them on our side. So they needed something for the spring game. So, that'd at least be a tentative depth chart. If nothing else, you can see who's playing what position. Now, obviously, first team might mean second team in the fall. We add another 20 guys that we expect to come in to compete for, playing time. So even if that's the way it is right now, if we're playing tomorrow, then it's going to change come September 1st, come August 1st, all the rest. So you can at least see what these guys, where they're playing, and that'll even change between now and in August. Guys are going to get bigger. You take a guy like Sean Walters, who came here as a safety, and then he moved to outside backer, and now he's playing inside backer. So guys get bigger, they mature, and who knows what their ceiling is as far as what their height and weight and speed and all that stuff's going to be as they get older.
Speaking of position changes, you've apparently done something or are trying something with Vernon Davis. The reason for that is?
We were watching him catch punts, and it was really, what is today, Thursday? It was Tuesday. You guys were out there, and I was watching Vernon catch and run, and he was running forward at a faster rate than he was running backwards. And he was sticking his toe on the ground, he was fluid, and he was coming out of his cut. So I just kept him down there. I mean, we do this periodically. It looked good enough to us on Tuesday to keep him on offense on Thursday. Whether that's a bona fide full-time position move, we'll probably just keep evaluating that. But he did look better moving forward than he did backwards.
It's not like you don't need the help at corner, though. Is that a concern? Or?
Well, we need guys at corner to step up and be players. We can't get rid of the people we had and bring in 6 new people. This isn't the NFL. Which we played a lot of young corners last year that are going to get better, that we expect to get better. Vernon was somewhere around 3rd or 4th team corner at the time, so we decided to try him at receiver to see if he can crack the 2 deep or start at receiver. I think it's probably in the best interest of our football team to have a first-team receiver as opposed to a 3rd or 4th team corner.
Did you like what you saw of him returning punts? Is that an option for you?
Well, I'm not prepared to say that yet. We're not going to know who our returners are for quite some time. We have about 4 quality guys coming in that we recruited to be return guys. We got guys that we're evaluating out right there right now from a return standpoint. I'm not comfortable with saying that he's a return guy at this point. He looked good after he caught it. He looked good moving forward and being fluid and sticking his toe on the ground and coming out of his cuts, which is what you look for in a receiver.
How are you going to handle the quarterbacks as far as the spring game goes? Will one work with one unit or?
We'll mix them. What we've been doing in the previous 11 practices is Paul will go with the quote-unquote first team, which, not only do they switch, but receivers rotate, O-linemen kind of go back and forth. But we keep the quarterback with a specific center, and that changes every other practice. Okay, so Paul would be first, and then the second practice, Ford was with the first group, and Paul was in the second group. We'll keep rotating all through spring and into camp. We'll keep doing the same thing as well. In the spring game, we'll mix and match it more. There'll be a lot of moving parts. It's not a game. I hope we win, but there's going to be a lot of moving parts, and spring games are tough. You want it to look good for the audience, for the fans that come, and it's going to be a festive day, and we're going to have a good time with it, and we want it to resemble football, but we're not trying to make any decisions on that actual game.
Egger came back today and was working out. While we were out there, he wasn't at center, though. Is that because of his injury, or do you plan on working him back in?
Yeah, he'll be able to play other spots. He didn't go through, what you saw him do is about all he did. He's not ready to full-time become back, and we didn't want to put him at center with a quarterback and then him have to take himself out because his ankle hurt or any of that. So we didn't feel comfortable with him going through the whole practice, so we kept the centers as they were, because you got to have a rapport with the quarterback and center. I mean, once you get with your first team, second team guy, you take your first team quarterback and you make him take snaps from the second team guy, but we're so inexperienced at quarterback and center that if you start mixing and matching them too much, it's gonna look bad. So we didn't want to put Pat out there and then all of a sudden have to yank him out and put another center in, any of that. Want me to get that, Bob?
Yeah, I wish you would, because I ain't answering.
You mentioned not knowing people's. You mentioned not knowing people's ceilings earlier. Isaiah Bruce, when he came out earlier, he said he doesn't think he has a ceiling. That
Didn't recognize.
after last year, he feels like he still has a lot more to prove, a lot further he can go. Your thoughts on him through this spring and what he can accomplish this year?
Well, he's right. He's not close to his ceiling. Don't know what the ceiling is. You're going to reach it at some point in your career. He's not even close to it. And mention this part of why we were subpar on defense last year is so many young kids that we played. I mean, you play that many young kids, you ought to be better a year from then. Right? Every freshman that played for us last year on defense should be better next year. If not, then they're not doing something right. So he's not having his best spring right now. He's clearly a starter, but Doug Riggs pushing him pretty hot and heavy right now. Which these guys need to come in here and they don't need to be comfortable with the fact that they think that they got a starting spot, because about the time you do that, you're going to get beat out by somebody. And I'm not saying Isaiah's doing that. Isaiah's a very determined kid, and he's a good kid, but he needs to keep progressing.
You have this team thing all over the place, the motto on the T-shirts and posters and stuff. Talked to Shaq about it the other day, and he was specifically talking about the Mountaineer mentality part and what he felt that meant to him. Could you tell me, like, when you talk to the guys about that Mountaineer mentality, what it is that you preach it to be?
Well, it'd be hard to explain it in one small little press conference. We've talked about that a lot, and we've taken different aspects of what this program's about and who we are, and embracing different traditions and understanding what the past is and understanding why it's important to this great state, that sort of thing, and we educate them. That's how are all our young kids going to understand what it's all about unless we don't educate them on it. And we've taken a good portion of the beginning part of this spring semester, and we're going to do it again tomorrow morning. At 6 a.m. we're going to get up here and we're going to have a small little workout, and we're going to come down here and we're going to teach them. We're going to teach them about something, about what the program's all about, and that's something that I had to learn that. I had to learn what it was all about. I couldn't step into this role and learn everything overnight. So we're teaching all the new coaches. We're teaching all the new players. We're reinforcing why specific things are important, and we're going to embrace a whole bunch of it.